Social media, anxiety, and depression. Social media platforms have become a common and powerful component of people's lives. Like everything, social media can be used in positive and/or negative ways. We use social media for many different reasons other than blasting our political agendas and trolling others when we don't agree with their posts. Fortunately, we live in the United States of America and we have the freedom of speech. But does that mean we have to decimate others who don't agree with what they have to say? No, is the short answer. These platforms provide the ability for people to connect with others that they may not see very often. Social media allows families to stay connected even when they're thousands of miles away from each other. The biggest concern regarding social media is that people, instead of using it to appreciate others, use it to slug others and compare their lives to the people they may not see often. Unfortunately, studies have shown that due to the normal human instinct to compare oneself to another or to try to and supersede what others may be doing, it often results in depression and anxiety. So this begs the question, is social media really a good thing for our own psyche? These questions can only be answered by the people that use these platforms, since there is lack of proven research as to whether social media provides a net positive or negative impact on our common day life. Just to give you an idea, in 2018, the New Zealand Journal of Psychology conducted a cross-sectional experiment in regard to the growing epidemic of depression and anxiety based on the use of social media. The first topic they tackled was the average amount of time spent on social media a day over a diverse group of individuals based on Nielsen data. Nielsen Data is a company that typically provides polling data, as well as TV ratings, as well as how many times a link is clicked on, so on and so forth. Per the Nielsen data, the average New Zealander uses the internet 7 days a week at an average of 5.47 hours per day. New Zealand, however, isn't the only country that has conducted such experiments. China has taken a key role in the studying of the effects that social media has on depression and internet addiction. The International Journal of Psychology in 2014 has found through research that the internet has been an essential part of modern life, providing convenience in terms of studying, living, and working, end quote. While this may sound productive, the study also states that, quote unquote, adolescents are an at-risk population for internet addiction because of their lesser ability to control. So what does that mean? That means that adolescents, younger kids, are more susceptible to be addicted to the internet, right? One may think that. Going forward, in 2010, Plowman, McPay, as well as a few other researchers, conducted a case study experiment called the technologization of childhood. In this 18-month case study, they used a survey to gather information on 3 and 4-year-old children's moods when being allowed to use technology, in which they said, "Our findings on parental attitudes and family practices seem to be consistent with other research," implying they are too finding early onset anxiety and depression in kids while dealing with the internet. Now, this epidemic that we have that's going on, whether it be true, whether it not be true, it's up to you, it's up to me, it's up to how we teach our kids to grow. Right here, I have two different graphs, both from an online research called No More FOMO. It's based on the weekly social media use over time by condition. The one demonstrates depression, I don't know if you can see here, and the other one demonstrates loneliness. Make sure you can see here. So, you will see They did a 4-week comparison. The control group being people who used technology as they normally would, social media as they normally would, and the experimental group being the people who decided not to or were taken back a little bit from technology. What they did was they made it so that way they would give them less phone charge time, so they would charge their phone once a week and that's all the people would get. What they realized was that in individuals who had less screen time, they ended up being less lonely. Now, how might this actually be a thing, you might ask? Well, even though we use texting, even though we use phone calls, even though we use social media platforms to stay in touch with others, how does it make us less lonely not being together? That remains to be the question. In the control group here, they found that there was a spike in loneliness when people were able to use their electronics and social media as much as they'd like. Moving on to the depression. Again, we have the control and we have the experimental. The control group shows that over a period of time, they grew more and more depressed as they went on. Whereas the experimental group, when they removed